Oh yes. I see. What's why my eyes?
We are sorry. I'm fine, Charlie.
What is going on, Debbie?
Well, I mean, this week has been beautiful, and last week already started with a lot of, news all over the news about Shutterfest and all of that. But this week also, it's not been very competitive when it comes to entertainment stories. But yeah, there are some stories that were trending.
Okay, so then let's start with the hottest one, and then let's get into it.
Okay, so for the Shutterfest event was one of the hottest topics that was discussed throughout the entire week. But then I'll put that into our events section. Okay. So let's start with something in the politics area. Okay. Now this one is coming from Ayariga. He is the majority leader of the NDC. He says that electricity on and CD stable, prices are falling. Ayariga says Ghana's economy is on the right track. Many Ghanaians have been disagreeing. In fact, they've been showing their grievances that actually, why are you saying that electricity is on 24/7? Someone says he's somewhere in the Bono region, he's not seen electricity for 2 days, and they are offering his lights, but then we the Accra people there, most people are content with it. Tilly, why are you smiling? The way I'm smiling, they did. But I don't know if they are still turning off your lights. Now he says the CD is stable, prices are falling. The prices that are falling there, that one I can't tell. So he expressed satisfaction with the state of Ghana's economy, and he declared that the country is on a path of recovery and stability after, a lot of economic turbulence has been happening before the year began. So, yeah, I don't know if you would agree with what he's saying.
Well, Zil is here. Zil, how is your pocket like? Is the economy stable in your pocket?
So far, so good. Looking at what we used to enjoy or complain about from the previous government, and looking at what we are enjoying now, I think there's a level of stability when it comes to pricing and when it comes to the weight of the CD as compared to even the dollar rating. I think even before some 4 or 5 months ago, we saw the dollar was dropping like frequently, and now it's stable and all that. So even if you have plans to purchase something abroad, say at the end of the day, if you can hold this amount of money, and within a week, 2 or a month, that same amount of money will give you the same value for whatever you want to get. So if you are talking about it being stable, I think I'm forced to agree with.
What about the Doomsaw? How is it?
So far, I don't remember the last time I had light out.
Oh wow!
I remember. I remember, which is why I want you to talk first. Yes.
Okay, for where I live, that is the La Paz Achimota enclave. I don't remember the last time I had light out. Talk about pipe as well. I don't remember the last time. Maybe mostly I'm not home. But anytime I'm home, I get to enjoy what I get to enjoy. Light as well. So come.
Okay, so I think you have shared your opinion. How the economy is treating from your point of view.
Yes, that's from my. I beg you,
exactly
from your
point of view. For someone like me, within the weekdays, there's no water. The taps are not running, so it only starts from Friday into the weekend. As soon as we enter Monday, there's no. Off. It has been like that for some months now. Yeah, it has been like that for some months. I don't know if we are doing water shedding or something is happening with our water. Yeah, but that's how my system is set up in my area. So we have gallons. Everybody, we are all aware. We are on the same timeline now. So as soon as it's Friday, we are all fetching water. Barrels upon barrels that have to last you within the week, because the next time you see water coming through your tap, it's on a Friday. And that has been our system.
We know the timetable now. We know that when it's Thursday, the water will come. By dawn, it will end. Charlie, maybe they meet each other.
Where you going?
But my neighbors, they are not complaining because they have polytanks and stuff like that.
No, but you see, they are not. They are the exception. They are not the rule. Because the average Ghanaian doesn't have that kind of luxury of getting polytanks and all of that. But for us, I think when it comes to the water issue, in as much as it's a bit inconveniencing for us, I think what we like is the fact that at least we know when it will come and when we will not get. So we are able to prepare and store for the dry seasons. You get it? On the issue of light, I have had very terrible experience, but at some point it became a local problem, technical issue that they had to fix, which they have done. But of course, I keep saying that Ghana is not just Accra. So usually when somebody in power sits and wants to make a
Judge.
general statement that
Based on-
affect everybody in somebody in Tumu, somebody there, and make it seem
In
like
Zamao.
their experience here in Accra is the
is-
same, then it becomes difficult for them. But even in Accra, we have different experiences.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Exactly. Well. Let's move away from that and now to our next story. And this story has been on the minds of people. Now, there was a trending video this week by a newly enrolled student into the Yas Antoa girls who got her hair chopped.
Okay.
You
No,
know,
she didn't get
she
her
was.
hair chopped. Please.
She got her hair, not her head though.
This is radio.
Her
I
hair.
beg you. She didn't have her hair chopped.
So yeah, she had a haircut. Okay, now this girl had some long Brazilian lengthy hair, silky, shiny, and all of that going on. And then, some Ghanaians are outraged that, a newly enrolled students has been forced to cut their hair because they're going to school. And yesterday we spoke on it on Daybreak Hitz. And then most of the comments that were coming in were like, the system is the system. Okay. And that is how Ghanaians, like the Ghanaian community or the Ghanaian schooling system is made to be. And when you go to SHS, there are rules and regulations that you have to follow. And if you feel like you don't want to cut your hair, then you have to go to a private school. But then, I don't know if you were part of the Ghanaians that were outraged, but what do you have to say about this whole, going to school, cutting your hair? Do you think it's outdated, as some people are saying, or do you think, it's still part of the system, so we have to follow?
Thankfully, Robert Class joined us, so I don't have to answer anything today. His hair, if he were to go to school today, I think he will have a problem with the hair. So let's start with the conversation properly. Do you think the uproar of Ghanaians over this particular issue, it's in line, or it's just one of those things? Because we saw the same thing with Magai when he was going to Achimota and the whole back and forth and all of that. After that issue died, I thought we were going to have a national conversation to change it, but it seemed like the whole nation was quiet and okay until this came. Are we fighting a good fight as a nation, or we are just waiting for something to become sensational and then we jump on it, make noise, and then we never really have the change we want? Mr. Robert Clark, over to you.
Whose responsibility do you think it is?
To do what
To
exactly?
have that. Well, you mentioned national conversation about it.
The Ghana education.
So obviously, if it's part of their rules, I'm sure they are operating from the rules perspective. If it's part of their rules, and obviously it is because the rules are there, and that's why they want to go with it. But then again, sometimes we need to be able to review things in the light of why they were done. Like, why was it there in the first place?
Yes.
And there are issues with if you look at a situation where, for example, somebody is consistently, like you're in school and then you are focusing on your hair, focusing on my focus is to be beautiful hairstyles, try and get money for this because I've changed my hairstyle into that. Sometimes these things become or get in the way of the reason why you are there. In fact, there's another reason why people wear school uniform. It is also because it's supposed to ensure that you guys see yourselves as equal one, and then it takes you away from today's dress, tomorrow's dress, that kind of stuff. It eliminates all of these desires that have the potential of leading the young person to doing the wrong thing. But if in the light of current developments, these things people are not too sure of how it should be placed, I think the competition should be held. So I am not against them, neither am I for them. I just think that as a nation, we need to have a conversation to make a decision about what we really want, whether we want to go the old way or whether we want to stick to new, or whether we want to revise the things we've done in the past, to take on present nation. Because I think that for most of these folks, yes, your natural hair. Yeah, we've also had natural hair. I mean, everybody's got natural hair, but we are meant to, we usually cut these things, and just so that we can focus on the education, and after that you can go out there. So I get that, but I think that it's a subject for conversation, really. I don't really have a yes or no. It's a matter of what the people really want.
Do you foresee long hair getting in the way of education?
In the way of the education, I don't think so. Yes and no, actually. Yes and no.
Let me hear
Looking
your reason.
at secondary school or the senior high schools, let's look at it this way. If you want to go to the police service, they have their criteria. They have what you need to abide with. in order to go there, get your training and come out or pass out. When you want to go to the military as well, there is that. In the educational system, see, we have options. If you don't want to shave your hair or cut your hair as a girl, you can try the private schools. But if you want to go to a public institution, this is what they have laid down. And with this girl's case, I saw it and I was like, why didn't parents prep her up for this? Were there no conversations that it will get to a time where if you want to go to the school that you've chosen, this is what they require for you to make an entry into the school. Do you get it? So I think some of the conversation, as sensational as it is, we need to sometimes relax with how we comment about it. Because it's a school, it's an institution. There are rules and regulations. If you go to the bank, you want to work in a particular department, there is something you need to do to be able to work in that department. Every institution has its own rules and regulations. This is an educational institution. This is what it requires. You as a parent, before your kid will even get there, start prepping the kid's mind that yes, you've passed, and even in all public schools. So this clearly tells me that this young lady didn't attend any public school growing up. More like it was a private school till it got to this stage. Because for what I know, it is only in private schools that the females
allowed to keep your hair.
So it's telling me that throughout her educational journey, she's been to private schools, and now you want to transit and take her to a public school. The same rules and regulations in the public school might be different from the private school. So you prep her up and do this, and not come put it out there. I don't see the head and tail of the conversation because it's an institution. This is the requirement to get there. And no.
So you don't believe that as a nation we have to start the conversation to probably, as he said, review why it is that we even cut our hairs for school and if it serves a good purpose.
Exactly.
Even in this era.
So two things.
Like
Debbie,
So-
you
Debbie,
let him
you
finish his 2 days and
No,
then
no,
two
speak.
things here. When you do your hair, how long does it take?
probably.
Like how? When you do
When
your hair
you
like
wash, and I don't know the kind of hairstyle they might allow.
Yeah.
Maybe not braiding. Maybe you are just allowed to wash and hold,
how? Okay.
Yes.
and then you can go to campus.
Usually.
Let's start that conversation now.
Okay.
If you're allowed to just wash and hold, how long would it take you to do that?
How long for the process, or how long?
process.
It doesn't take long. So depending on the hairdresser doing the hair, 30 minutes you should be done.
To do
Because
that.
you do and you just blow dry and then you
Yes.
tie it into a nice pony. That's it.
Okay. At the end of the day, is it painful or not?
It's not
Does
painful.
it affect you in any way?
No, it's not.
Your
It's
movement in any
guy
way?
rough. It's not painful.
It's not
No,
painful.
because we sit down to get our hair cut. You get it. When I was in SS, I went to St. Rose's.
Yeah.
I'll get my hair cut. I go to the barbering salon to get my hair cut. As a matter of fact, that same hair that I've cut, that I can see my up in pin, when I get to school, they'll tell me it is not enough. So this lady crowd, when I saw her hair, I was like, my dear, you are going to get Sakura crowd. When you enter there, it will go lower. You know,
Yeah.
this one, even the I saw some bellums
some kids
at the I'm like, hey, my
catching
dear,
this
this
one.
one, all that you are crying, you are about
Fade.
to cry more because
Yeah.
we have to see your scalp and your mama the same level.
Yeah.
You get him?
The same way Robert rightfully said, the uniform thing.
Yeah.
You wear uniform so that all of us can be seen as one.
Yes.
And secondly, you don't wake up to now decide on which attire to wear, because this is a prescribed uniform. Let's take it back to the hair. You wake up, trust you me, if ladies keep a certain type of hair for like 2 months or a month, there's that urge to change it.
Change
right?
it. Yes.
So now you are there, you're in school. Yeah, you have prep, you have all of this classes you need to go and all that. And now you come to think about which hairstyle to do when you want to step out. So it's a conversation we can have, but this is just my point of view. It can be reviewed. Robert said it. The educational system, are they interested in reviewing all of this? If not for the lady's case, would we have had any other conversation?
Because mind you, that same year Santua school, Ejakonimo's daughter has seen the hair and it has kept quiet and has gone.
Yes.
So how come we are trying to make this one person's case or tears be the reason why all the others that have cut their hair seem like, oh, you shouldn't have cut your hair too?
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
the
There's always a reason. See, liberty comes with responsibility. Sometimes when you are not too sure, how people will handle that particular freedom you are giving them.
Yes.
You eliminate it completely, knowing that it's just for a 3-year period.
Yes.
If I know that you coming in with your hair, it's probably, well, what are we going to ban? What kind of hairstyles are we going to start seeing? And what's going to be the implication in terms of your pocket, parents, people going out, time, all of that. If we feel at the end of the day it cannot be managed, then what we'll do is, let's stick to one size fits all for now. And when you are done for 3 years, you can feel free and live your life.
At the end of the day,
you came here not for the beauty elements, but you came here heavily for studies. So that kind of stuff. So I understand that angle, but if for any reason people feel like they don't want to go along with that, these are conversations that need to be held. Once it is held, then people understand. This is our position, current position. Let's not have conversation about these things anymore. That kind of stuff.
And even if you start this whole conversation, guys wearing beard will come inside.
Of course.
Pure sense.
They'll come inside to do what?
Guys will do dreads.
You're having a conversation.
We want to keep hair. Everybody
How
will want to
do
keep
how
hair.
is the beard on their head? we are talking about the hair.
Yeah.
thing.
It's also hair.
So you want
Just that
to
it's
take
grown
this
here.
beard to go and meet your teacher who also has beard.
You want to also leave this hair to go and meet your teacher.
Please, this is your case. I will not accept. Then
No.
you have something to. No. The rest of we are not symptom. We want to add beard. God. Then you wanted to say something about this.
Zil took all the words from my mouth and
Give it back.
give me back my words. So, but then you see, the thing is, the fact that fine, you're saying that if a student wants to keep their hair, they should go to a private school. I think it's quite unfair because free education is not for just the underprivileged, for everybody, whether you are coming from a rich background, if you can afford private studies or not. Everybody is can get free education. It's everybody's takeaway. But then the problem, as he mentioned, is that when these things are introduced, other people, there will now be room for other people. Boys would like to also keep their hair.
But even with the current way free education is that not every student has free education. So it's not even about the hair and who is keeping it. Some schools, they are not doing private. It was, I think, last year that the conversation came. Or early this year that, they want to extend it to private schools. And even that,
there were
people
few selected.
No, if they can afford to pay, why do we have to extend that? So I think the issue is, if we want, as he said, to cancel it, let's have it so it doesn't affect just one person. It affects all, the entire system. GES is aware. The schools, the headmasters are all aware that this is the new rule we are moving with, because some time back we used to beat children in school, but now it's no more. How did it stop? Who passed that? Who made a rule for everybody to abide? So let's get things done like that, so that the things that we claim we do not like, we call barbaric, we call this, we call that colonial, can be changed.
The entire argument started from people just saying that, this is outdated. We should not be, forced to cut our hair anymore. This is outdated. There should be reasons why students shouldn't be forced to cut their hair. But if you open, even 5 years ago, when exactly, but that's the thing. Every year things like this come up, and then people would always have opinions, but then there's no conversation around it. So as you said, there should be talks about it, and we know where we're going. Well, let's
talk about something else.
Talk about something else.
What else is trending?
Well, this week we were hit by some very sad news, and that was the passing of the former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Now, she died of a short illness. That's what reports say, and at just 76 years old. Hey, well, may her soul rest in perfect peace, and I'm sure everybody has heard about this issue. Yeah. Now let's move away from that into the events. Last weekend, a big event, a great event. Robert, you were a part of the
Robert, you
exactly.
As a matter of fact,
celebration.
I want to talk to Robert alone on this matter. Robert.
Yes, there was a massive turnout at the Black Star Square for Chatawali's birthday concert, and there were some really interesting highlights. The number of people that were there was a very huge topic to talk about. The performances, most performances were very energetic. It was beautiful, and the place was choked.
Very, very.
And even after the concert, still issues day, a lot of issues day.
Well, thank God Robert is here. Robert is here to answer all my questions. Robert,
what's a rundown?
I think first, the question I probably want to clarify, the thing I need to clarify is this was a Momo event that they contracted Charterhouse to do with Shatter being the guy being celebrated, right? Or what was the conversation, that thing, like that partnership we've been talking about? What was it really like?
Oh, it's Momo, Charterhouse, and Shatter.
Okay.
And with the main contractor being Momo.
Okay. So in previous times, because I know Momo have been doing events of that sort, has it always been Charterhouse that have been handling?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then it's not a new thing that we.
No. We've done several of these things throughout the year. We've been to different parts of the country. There are different towns we've been to and all of that. So this is our production wing working together with Momo by MTN, or Momo from MTN, and yes. So basically, that's where everything stems from.
And has that partnership always been a free event, or there has been times where they do the ticketed and some they decide that, oh no, let's make this one free? How is that like?
Most of them have been free. The one that was ticketed was Rapperholic, because obviously it was Momo connecting with Rapperholic to do this, and there was a particular format that Rapperholic was working with, so they didn't to allow the Rapperholic position in terms of they charging to ride.
Okay. Now, I know as organizers, numbers are good for you when you see these numbers, but did you anticipate that? Because I'm sure, knowing the kind of organizers you are, if you had anticipated, they would have probably thought of a bigger venue, or you were sure this was going to happen, but you were like, you know what, let's just do it.
No, you anticipate, like Sami explained, there was a particular figure that we're playing with, which was like 100K, and at the end of the day, what it turned out to be was more than that, essentially. You understand? So your anticipation would probably go as far as big as a venue can actually contain.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, what happens? And you can see that this was not just about the venue itself. It was beyond the venue. In fact, it was beyond the environs of the venue. It was like where I saw people coming from and hanging around, I wonder what's Charlie, and they were dressed in white, so you could clearly tell that these guys are coming for this particular program. So it was massive, it was huge, it was heavy. And I was explaining to somebody that we know what happened when Shatta was doing is it After the Storm? The Rain album, the launch. You could see the publicity that went into it.
Yeah.
This one, like some 11, 13 days or something.
Yeah.
That's it really, and it wasn't like it was just some
So yes. So everybody is
and
asking,
all of that,
what was that winning thing they did that paid off? No, you people be part of the organizer.
I know, I get you. So I mean, it's him having his base. So basically, the king called and they responded.
I see.
Showboy.
Now, I think one of the conversations that had come up a lot, and a lot of people are still even trying to debunk certain things that have come out, has been the numbers. It's been exactly 1 week that this event happened. I know for events where there are tickets being sold, it's usually easy for them to sort of get the numbers because, okay, we're able to, these are the tickets that we sold and all of that. So if we add the tables and the tickets that were printed and the online one, these are there. But for organizers of the events, I'm sure I've seen Joy have their take on what they think the numbers is using the size of the place and whatever we saw. As organizers.
So what did he mention?
I think it started from 50,000. Joy gave 400,000, and then Sammy Flex
has given 600 plus.
673,000.
As the organizers, and this is I'm asking you because you do events, you are able to get this even for the next events. You need this kind of data to do the things you have to do. What number do you have in the office that this is what we got?
Okay, so here's the challenge that people have. If you focus on just the independent square, then you're likely to get a smaller number.
Okay.
Because you do the square feet or square meter calculation in terms of how many people are able to fit in a square meter over the grounds. So you can take the size of the venue and then you do the number of people who are able to go into a square meter and multiply it. Then you add the number of people who are in the stands because all the stands were filled. But the challenge now is when you go out of the space. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there were initial numbers, and then it went on, and eventually. So if Joy is saying that, the question is the Joy number. That did it include the people on the streets, stretching all the way to the right, left, and then around the stadium area or around the arch itself, the Black Star arch. No, not the which one? What's the name of this one?
The one with the freedom and justice.
Yeah, the one with the star itself on it. That whole area, people were still there, So I'm not too sure whether that part has been covered. But, when Sammy Flex came and they said, after they are done their back ends and stuff like that, this is what the final figure is.
Yeah.
We just went on the back of something that was more than, picking from the Independence Square. So I had already come here and then I said that I remember when the Black Star Line concerts was done, they said it was about 52,000 in terms of participation. And I was there and then I saw the numbers, and I saw the areas that were not necessarily filled. I was there, Global Citizen, I also saw it. I've seen several concerts done in the space, and I know the projected numbers. So seeing this and the size in terms of the numbers and how many people, I knew from a layman, in terms of just the Independence Square, I knew it was more than 200K.
Yeah.
You understand? So when the numbers started coming up, I'm like, okay, so at least it's confirming the numbers above what I'm expecting, which is actually okay. And then when you go out into the streets, so honestly, for us, it will be difficult, and people can doubt because there is no. We haven't probably done this over and over in the past. But the reality is that the numbers were huge.
Yeah, the numbers were huge.
So the number that they're coming with, in the absence of nothing, what it is what it is. You have to be able to go with people who have done the calculations to be able to.
It is what it is.
If not, then somebody will have to pull up some form of calculations to say that this, therefore, doesn't make sense.
Well. Of that, please, we have not finished. It's a big conversation. I want to finish with him because he is the PRO of Charterhouse, and then when I'm done with him, then I'll bring you guys in. On the back of that, we saw Shatawale. He first went to Mumu to go and chop kiss with all the ladies there, pictures, and then said he wanted to do this annually and all. I think that conversation we'll have. But we also saw a video yesterday of Shatawale in Charterhouse. You were there, you were chopping hag. Hey, Robert, you were there, Churchill was there.
Chopping hag.
You were
enjoyment.
We saw it was enjoyment. We saw the hag. What really was happening there? I know that if it's on the back of the Chatterfest, because Charterhouse was a part of it, it made sense that we saw him there after going to Momo. But we also know that the brand Shatawale has a long-standing issue with Charterhouse. So what really was this meeting for, and what does it mean for the collaboration, the relationship between the brand Shatter and Charterhouse? And what does it even mean to a large extent?
Yes, I'm very interested.
Because that one is important for me, for Debbie, for Zil, and all the listeners. They have DM'd me, so don't
for the fans.
I mean, it's in the line of Momo Fest. The fact that we had the Shatterfest project done, and these were the parties that worked together. So they needed to pay a courtesy call or they wanted to pay a courtesy call and then express appreciation for smooth execution, from the parties. Essentially, that was the main reason why they came around. So having visited Momo, responsible for funding the project, then it came to Charterhouse because we organized it. Really, that's it. And obviously, because we are industry persons, from their conversations will kick in terms of other areas of interest or other things, other expressions. So so quite a number of things were said there, and there are yet to be confirmations, in terms of what will be done, what things that were proposed, or that kind of stuff. So it's a dialogue, essentially, and that's really what happened.
I really like Robert's class. He has said places, but he hasn't said anything to us. It was a dialogue. What dialogue? That is the question.
No, but if you're interested in the dialogue, then you ask, and then I'll tell you.
So the dialogue.
It's not like.
Thank you. I am very interested. I like that. So let's talk about the dialogue of the Shatter brand and then Charterhouse. We know there was a lot of issues back then. So has that bridge with this particular thing that happened, and especially they coming to Charterhouse, has that thing been mended first?
First of all, we don't have problem with Shatawale.
Okay.
We've not had problem with him in a long while.
Okay.
Because the reality is there were things that happened in the past, and then those things, apologies were rendered. It was like, done, squashed, gone.
Okay.
So there's no issue. And we need to understand that the award scheme is not necessarily Charterhouse.
That's true.
Okay, so the scheme exists, and even after the problem with the scheme, there was July in Nungwa. July in Nungwa showed that we put Shatawale on. It's because Charterhouse organizes events.
Yeah.
So we went ahead, we did our events, and then life continued. Now, with respect to the scheme again, the ban was lifted, and he's been at liberty since that time to participate in the scheme. I mean, that's clear. It's not like there was a ban on him. If there wasn't no participation from him, it was because he exercised that free will not to participate, and he said it. And in fact, there was a dialogue I had with him way back then, and he actually said it to me myself. So I understand. And sometimes there are people in the music space who, for one reason or the other, feel like this year I'm not going to be participating.
Yeah, I think this conversation we came up last week where we spoke about I think he went on George Quay's show, and then he spoke about the fact that it's very stressful, like lobbying for awards when you know that this one is for me, it goes to the other person, so he just doesn't want to put himself through that ordeal.
So we are not against him, and we don't have an issue in that particular regard.
Okay.
If you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, so that's it. So we did this because obviously we are all business-minded folks.
Yep.
Gotta get a job done,
Okay. Well, congratulations to you and your team. What you guys pulled up was a big thing. At some point, I was like, what is going on this stage? What was the plan of this? Tell me the truth. What was the plan of that stage? Because at some point...
What was the plan, like how?
Because...
Okay, so
the stage
was crowded.
choked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was choked. Yes, that.
We didn't even have
But the
places
number of
to
people that
stand.
were there, like that's huge, humongous.
Yeah.
The numbers were huge, So essentially, that's what it is. Yeah, but it was a stage designed with the back end, to be able to contain, and then we had a very long extension to allow the artist to go into the crowd and be able to feel them, sort of vibe with them, that kind of stuff. So that's what we did. And the piece in the middle, or like the island, was bigger, just so that you can freely move around. So that was the idea. And then we had anticipation. Unfortunately, man proposes, God disposes.
No.
But this one, it was a pleasant one.
It was a
pleasant disposes.
Or there's another one that says, well, hey, I can do more than you ask for.
God will do exceedingly abundantly above.
Charlie.
We go to church,
Exceedingly abundantly
Above.
far and beyond what you ask or think.
Oh yes.
That one.
Oh yes.
Be like that one will happen.
Oh yes. Did the Lord exceed what you thought, what you expected
He had no
abundantly? Did the Lord do that with this event for you?
For me, I didn't have any expectation. I knew it was going to be a good event. Looking at the year Shatta has had, and also looking at the talkability around him and all that. And I always say this: the conversation with George Quay was one of the best conversations Shatta has had in a very long time. It was promising, and even on socials, the way flyers were being shared by people and all that, you knew that yes, the Shatta fans were ready to pull up to actually make this his birthday a success, and that is what happened. So for the program, big shout outs to Momo, and then from MTN, big shout outs to Charterhouse, big shout outs to Shatawale, and also the whole SM fans. Yeah.
Okay, well, my time is fast spent, and let me just
say this.
Okay.
Whenever we have these discussions, let's always remember to appreciate Momo.
Yeah.
For this project,
Yeah.
because you see the amount of money they're investing or they have invested into the space, no be joke, you understand.
Facts.
And these are the things that we need to have them keep doing. Because when you do this, event logistics in terms of production, all the stage light, sound, everybody in the value chain benefits.
Yeah.
Performers, all the artists that are on board, DJs that are on board, MCs who are on board, hype men, etc. All of these folks they are earning something. They have the cashless fare as well that they do. People come, the sales that they generate. So it's something that basically engineers some economic value within the various spots in terms of the places that they've been to. And so we must commend them for this particular move. It's on point. It's solid.
Well, big shout out to Momo.
Yes.
For holding us down because
Momo.
One of the
Momo,
yeah.
Momo, Momo, why are there? Momo, FTM Momo, because our sector, we need it. Sponsorship has been one of the things we've been crying for. So if we have a corporate body say, I'm going to invest this amount, and they've been doing it consistently
great event,
with different artists back to back. So we appreciate that. We say, the rest of you, please, what are you waiting for?
Yeah,
But you can put the numbers. Clearly, we can.
And at the back of that, I think there's an issue we need to also address. That is the data collecting issue. We need to be able to have institutions who are ready to provide data, no matter
Make
what,
reports.
if it's a free event or whatever. We need all of that, because when you sit in a business meeting, you want to convince somebody to invest in this particular space, in the space of events. You need to give them some receipts.
Track your progress.
And sometimes you need to give them hard receipts, like, bro, this is what we had. This is
understand.
the
Hard receipts when I check pictures of
Hard
crowd
receipts.
way.
Hard.
Hard receipts, man. I get it. Don't mind.
But it's not just that event. A lot of
the hard
events.
event, evidence.
we need all of these things. And clearly, to speak further on this has clearly painted a picture that our artists now have positioned themselves that to pull up an event and get people to attend, we do not need the foreigners that we used to bring before we can get all of these numbers. Some 4 years, 5 years, it will be a big event for people to troop in. I just say Ekofo will be free, baby.
Yeah.
And make the person a headliner for that particular event. But now, this clearly shows you that when you use some Ghanaian artists, you'll be able to.
But this narrative, it has still long.
Yes, but then it's
I get you.
I think we should these are the conversations.
Our guys are doing well. All of them, most of them actually have their events that they do. From the young ones, they have their own small thing they do, and then the big ones. So this December, all of them will be busy because I go here, you go there, and they've been able to do that consistently to get their crowd. So the Shatter one we saw, for me, I felt like it was the annual thing that they've been waiting for, because I'm not sure Shatter will do an event this December. This is an annual birthday thing, and I'm hoping it becomes, well, per the stories we have, it is something that will be happening. Debbie, are we done with you?
We need to understand that our artists have become superstars.
Yeah.
That's it. Or some of them have, broken into that particular bracket.
Yeah.
And they will keep pushing, and they will begin to set the new standards. That's how it's supposed to go. Because, Rapaholic outdid itself in terms of, if you check the track record of things they've been doing.
Yeah.
And it's like that.
As a matter of fact, Nabil says it looks like they will have to come out from the dome now. They have to come out.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it looks like they have outgrown that place.
So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's really our artists are breaking into the superstar. What you call it, brackets, and for as long as they're doing that, it means they need bigger places. It's funny, or it's not funny. It's interesting when you hear that Chris Brown did 2 concerts, at one particular venue, because in South Africa, that tells you that the guy is big, and so all of you. I had to break you into 2.
The first batch,
and
then the second batch.
You have X number of folks, and then you have another batch. That's the level that our artists are getting to. And we need to be able to begin to think about these things and accommodate them.
When I saw the Shatter post, I said that some of you have to go home. I'm like, wow, is this where we have reached? But I was very excited.
Let me do my official call. For me, one of the biggest things that I really want us to address going forward would be crowd management, security. It has to. We need.
And this is coming from the event organizer.
The industry needs people to address or to handle the crowd. You understand what I'm saying? Because really, an event organizer is not a security expert. The security apparatus of the community, they are there. And I think that we need a combination or like a special unit set aside to handle these things, every time that we have events.
But Robert, what has been the conversation like over the years when it comes to
Okay, so
or is it because of the magnitude of this event?
Magnitude. So we went to Rapaholic. We saw what happened.
Exactly.
And then we are back here, and then we've seen what's happening.
Yeah.
And so what's it going to be like? In subsequent. At subsequent events, so we need to be proactive. Anticipate and say, okay, if X, then Y. If we're expecting 100,000, there's a formula that works. If we're expecting 200,000 people, we have to amp the formula to this particular level, and we need a combination of, So these are conversations.
But
that
Robert, my thing there will be
to be able to achieve.
Yes, but when I asked you, your thing was. This thing was exceedingly abundantly above. So I am sure if the organizers had anticipated this level, probably they would have engaged the security level too on that level. Because
so you don't. It's not about the numbers. So even about when you're on the grounds, what do you do? How do you handle a situation where, for example, people are choked, you can't move? What happens? And let's say the whole place is choked and somebody is being molested in the middle there somewhere. What do you do? It's about everything security for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Because when the dynamics, because see, at some point we had to now, water had to
be sprayed on them,
on the people because of the heat and all of that. So it's about managing the entire crowd in such a way that at the end of the day, you come in safely, you leave safely. All I'm saying is that when things become bigger, you need to have a bigger or broader conversation.
Okay, so I think the question I have to ask, since you are the experts in the event side, whose mandate is it as the people to initiate that conversation with the security team that, okay, per what we are doing, we need this amount? Or is it that the security agency have to be proactive and reach out to say, you know what, this is, we see account. Who has to initiate that conversation?
Let me put it this way for you to understand.
Okay.
If I want to organize an event and I can be the event organizer, I'll talk to a sound man. And I'll tell the sound man, this is what I want to achieve. And the sound man will ask me a question. Oh, how many people are coming? Yeah. Oh, okay, then it means they will need lineary, maybe 12, this, that. Yeah. Based on the number of people coming, they'll tell me, okay, we have to hang this here. We have to. So you are talking to experts in sound. I may have the knowledge because I always work with them, but I'm not the expert. Yeah. You understand? The same thing if I want to do some projections, I'll talk to people who handle screens or production folks, and I'll say, oh, I want them to see my video and say, oh, okay, where they'll tell you, okay, so what's the distance from what point to what point? Okay, and you are going to do it outdoor, or if it's outdoor, use this screen, if it's indoor, use that. If you are talking to another set of experts. All I'm saying is that we need to get to that point that we will also talk to an expert organization within the security who would also ask questions, who say, oh, okay, there's that kind of stuff. Okay. And then, together we can find a particular formula that works for everybody. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Because there are quite a number of things that I had learned from you that I came, and then when we had our security briefing conference, I was also mentioning it. Yeah. I mentioned and I shared with them that, can we have this, can we have that, can we have this, can we have that, that kind of stuff. But it's supposed to be something in totality. So yes, from our side, we've already planned that, yes, we have to start doing engagement. But I'm saying this because I also want the conversation to begin, because yes, we will engage, but it's supposed to go beyond us. Yeah. It's supposed to be national interest of how we manage crowds. So it's not even here. It can even be a festival somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? Anywhere, demo, traditional or demo, anything, all of these things.
Maybe a rally,
all of that.
Church events that they are doing at a bigger. I understand.
All of these things apply. So that's what I'm trying to bring up. We need to have.
You have to let them go.
Zoo, you got 30 seconds. Okay, so 29.
Should we be expecting the overflow this November, December? Because it looks like that has been the case. You cast your mind back to Rapaholic, there was an overflow. Now look at Shatter's event. There's Momo Shatterfest. There was an overflow. Are we, as event organizers, are we to anticipate?
Oh, the overflow. I remember Guinness eruption. Yeah. You had 50,000 people at the stadium and over. And then the number of people who were outside crazy. Yeah. So it's always like that. It's been there for a very long time. So these overflows exist. All right. Our population size keeps increasing. So obviously you have more people coming in that particular space, and they are all part of the culture, and then we certainly participate. I understand. All I'm saying is we just need, there are special units within the police force that you can call and say these guys are responsible for
this.
So that's what we need to be able to have, people who have that particular gentle human face, skilled, knowledgeable, knowing exactly what to do and how to do it, So that's what I'm looking at essentially,
Right. But big congratulations to you guys.
Yeah. Congrats. Well, before I leave, let me leave you with some events that are happening this weekend. And the first event is the Bold New Normal Conference with Lucy Quist. And now it's happening tonight at the Enclave Gardens in East Legon. So yeah, it's all about change makers and how to have impactful conversations in Africa. And also we have our next event, that is this is day 3 of EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. It started on Thursday and today is day 3. Of course, you don't want to miss it because there are going to be big discounts and exclusive home deals, and there are going to be special offers for visitors looking to build, buy, renovate or furnish their homes. So yeah, take a spin around that side too. And that's all I got for you guys in the weekly trends.
Well, thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
Debbie is leaving us, but we are here. Shatawale has said something about this Shatterfest.
Okay.
We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Robert Cly is here, so we will talk about it. I have questions. The question is, we just started. This one was trend, so we are now about to have the conversation proper.
But you forgotten who you are dealing with.
You now, what am I scared? Please, so please don't go anywhere.
Ask the question and say, like I'm threatening you, like
it's a threat. Hey, don't hide your eyes on me. I'm a baby girl. You can't do that to me. So we are.
You say what?
I beg. So we are going for a quick music break. Bashata is talking, so we have to share our opinion on it. We'll be right back.
I got it.
annual event. Dancehall sensation Shatta Wale has announced that Shatterfest will now be an annual celebration from overwhelming success of the 2025 edition. The artist made the declaration during a courtesy visit to the head office of Mobile Money Limited, Momo, in Accra. He expressed a heartfelt gratitude to the company for partnering and supporting his birthday concert, Shatterfest 2025. Shatterfest is a brand that we've built. And I believe with a few collaborations like MTN from Momo and other affiliations, we are going to have it every year, he said. We are even thinking about taking it to other regions and even outside Ghana as well. This is a great initiative and people should expect more. The meeting, which brought together members of Momo Executive Board and award-winning artists, reflected the strong partnership between the telecom brand and Shatta Wale's team. Gentlemen, it looks like the overwhelming success of Shatterfest is going to be something we'll be seeing because every year it's somebody's birthday. Shatta too, as long as he's alive, every year it will be birthday. So how are you anticipating this to go moving forward? Are you expecting like bigger crowds, bigger, different? What is in your mind? Because honestly, I was pleasantly overwhelmed.
Yeah, so
pleasantly.
For me, I would have been shocked if the conversation didn't go like this.
Okay.
Especially after a very successful event and all that. And looking at the way the fans appreciated this. So it's only prudent or it's only right that the team sits down and the people who were able to pull up the event would relive the moment yearly. And as you said, so far as he's alive, every year he's going to celebrate his birthday. And if we start conversations like this, by this time, people have it at the back of their mind that every 18th or 17th of October, there's going to be Shatterfest, so we can add it to our calendar. And I must say this, it actually sparks the whole December in Ghana conversation.
Yeah, it's like a good start
to
what you can see.
As well. So it looks like, I'll be shocked if this wasn't a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robert, my thing is that this statement was made from Shatta Wale. I was hoping it would rather come from the event organizer, Momo, who they are the ones with the, their financial and everything, getting things done. Is it bad that it didn't come from them, but it rather came from the artists? Because I know Shatta Wale, if he wants to do, he will do. But the Momo collaboration and the Charterhouse thing, it was a Momo thing. Is there a cause for alarm?
Oh, I mean, the artist must be willing and must want to do it in order for it to happen. So really, that's where it all stems from. So if the artist is willing and they approach folks and then they get partnership, that's also, in its good sense. Because Momo can also say that this is what I want to do, but you certainly have to go to the artist and get the artist to say yes. So having the artist say yes at this particular point means there's an opportunity. What it simply means is that anybody who saw the success and wants to be a part of it, wants to have a piece of the pie, they can start engaging the Shatta camp almost immediately ahead of next year. You understand what I'm saying? So this is very strategic. You make this announcement, people have seen it, there's huge talkability about it. You wait and see what happens next year. The number of brands that will jump on it because they'll plan for it. Companies do their plans for the following year now, so in terms of I'm planning for 2026, they are doing it now. So they'll begin to work around budgets. They'll begin to, factor in a few things in terms of sponsorship, how they want to spend their money for next year. And what it means is that they can have that engagement, that conversation with the team and be a part of the celebration. So in terms of planning, yes, it helps. But when I hear annual Shatterfest, what I'm hearing is annual economic engineering in terms of activity that's supposed to go on. I'm hearing annual rental of stage, annual rental of light, annual rental of sound, annual rental of security experts, who are supposed to be at work, vendors who are going to be making sales, accommodation, transportation, artists who are going to be on bill, media in terms of content and media in terms of promotion, and then fashion in terms of artists who are coming, clothes people are going to wear. That's what I am hearing. For Shatta to say this, what it means is that this is what is going to be happening from his camp every single year. And for me, it's good.
Let's even talk about the element of taking it outside of the region. because I think that's also a big deal. We saw how Kumasi clamored over the whole rapaholic, and to see this kind of thing being done outside. Do we have spaces outside of Accra to host these kind of things? Because we're lucky that it happened at the Black Star Square, where there are even places, and the time it happened, there weren't a lot of other economical activities going. So where do we have places? If Shatta wants to go and take this thing there, do we have places, Robert?
Population density in Accra is the lead, followed by what do you call it? Yeah, Ashanti region. So Greater Accra first, and then you have Ashanti region, and then the numbers keep falling, as you go along. So we understand why Accra would be, that way be choked, because obviously there are so many people here. Other regions, let's remember, Shatta, this is not the first time Shatta will be doing a show out of Accra. He's been doing shows out of Accra for like God knows how long. There are several places they always go to. It's the same thing when we go out in terms of what do you call it, Ghana Music Awards. They're going to do a nominees jam. We look for huge places that basically can contain the numbers. So yes, there are some places. The only thing is that we are yet to see whether the numbers are actually going to be more than the venues that we have, and if that's the case, then it means that going forward we may need huge places in these regions as well. But that's it's good. It's a good call, because you're also sending the economic activity to these places, and then you are also sending the artists to these places for them to have a one-on-one with an artist they love.
Zio, do you think that, like the way Robert's class started the conversation about security, we have to start a conversation with NSA about how they also allow creatives to use stadiums in the various regions, so that we
not just in the various regions. See,
in Accra, obviously.
If we look at what people are doing with stadiums in the West, and we look at what we are also doing with our stadiums, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't tally.
It doesn't make sense to you, or it doesn't make sense generally.
Generally.
Because they have a good reason,
Okay, so let's look at the amount of money they are able to generate, even after a whole league is played on the stadium. Now that you go to, if there's, let's say, a match at the stadium and you go there, the number of people that troop in is not as many as it used to be. Now you can even go to the stadium and head count, you not even get up to 100 people.
But we're in this same Ghana where we saw the last match was choked, or that one was not. It was free. Match? The Black Star game.
The Black Star game.
So
there are some games.
That's what I'm saying. I was building to the point that we have games that will fetch you full stadium.
Okay.
You get the 30,000 or the 40,000 people come to watch the game. We have some matches that you'll not even get up to 100 people in there. But now, our artists have proven that if given the chance, not to make it so loud, at least half of the stadium, they will be able to use it. Do you get it? And it generates money into the pockets of the NSA. It is now, if not for this December, that the conversation about pitch covers have come in. And right now, I even stand to be told whether it's in or not. I don't know whether the conversations, where it has got into. But if we could have pitch covers in all of these places, go to the north, Fancy Garden will be able to fill the stadium.
Will be able. He feels, but yeah, he feels so.
I'm just saying.
He feels.
So, provided the stadium is not just used for playing football, but there are other events that can be held there, which is also going to generate money. Let's use it. Do you get it? You go to Europe, Real Madrid Stadium. I forgot the name of the stadium. You can play a show there today, because of the technology and how they have built the stadium. They can cover it up, and within 2 days again, after the event, you can play a match on the stadium. They are maximizing the use of all of these facilities. And I think that conversation should be held. We need to start looking into December and the type of shows that our artists are doing and all that. We need to start that conversation where NSA would open it up, get the right tools, so that at least if I want to use the stadium, I'll be able to use it. If there's a match too, it would not affect anything, and then generate money here and there. That's all.
Robert, the way you're staring at me, looks like you have something to say. Would you want to say it, or will you forever hold your peace?
You that you can't do without contributions. You did say holding peace. We're not going to hold any peace.
Don't do it like that. Today I'm here. Today I'm not sharing my opinion. I'm the one controlling the.
Well, you've already shared it. You've shared enough opinions. You can't hear say what. Okay.
I wasn't the one who said this show doesn't have a host.
But you agreed to it.
I never agreed.
Please, this your pedestrian conversation is not
Very, very.
it's not going to be encouraged.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I would want to say that NSA conversation is needed, but I don't want to let it ride on the back of low numbers for sports activities. You know that in terms of ranking, we know that stadium soccer leads, all right, and then you have the other things coming into place. But I just want to stand on the fact that for as long as the stadium is not just for only soccer, we have to make provisions for the other entertainment things that are supposed to be there, so we can maximize the value or the benefits of that particular investment. You understand? X amount of money is put into that particular place, and for anybody managing a venue, you want to make money on season and off season. So when you're playing soccer, obviously we are hoping and praying that we get to that particular point where soccer is being played and the entire stadium is full. So we pray for that to happen, because that one also has its own benefits that it gives. So let's in terms of the numbers, ticketing, transportation, food vendors, all of everything about crowds coming together, that particular benefit still exists when it comes to soccer. So yes, let's also pray that goes well. Now what we are saying is that we need to get to that point where we are clearly structured, where we have the off-season period where we are allowing people to utilize the place for rallies, to concerts, etc., so that revenue still comes in.
Yes, because
and
I
for as long, and since you are the host, 1 second.
I wanted to ask something. So because this week I was listening to the PRO of Stoneboy. They were talking about the amount they had to pay for the stadium. 350,000 cedis. That's a lot of money for them, like revenue for the
exactly.
NSA.
Yeah, which is solid, and they need more of these things in order to ensure that the place is maintained properly, that kind of stuff. So if you can comfortably say, look, within a year I'm expecting 10 shows from artists or from concerts, 350,000 times 10 is what? 3.5. You understand what I'm saying? And then out of this, what do they need? They need a pitch cover. What's the cost of a pitch cover? Maybe 500k. So invest in that 500k, and at the end of the day, every time any of these artists is coming for a concert, you are going to put the pitch cover there. Your pitch cover will probably wear and tear calculation. Maybe after 5 years you have to replace it. Good. But that's an investment that you have made X amount of 3.5 million times 5 years, and then you do a replacement. So it's all good business, and we need to be able to get into that particular space essentially. So for me, I think that we need to get to that point where we understand that the stadium that we have has multiple values or multiple benefits or multiple uses, and we need to be able to activate each one of them and maximize the benefit from these angles. It has to be done.
Well, please leave your comments in the comment section if you're watching live on Facebook. I know you have things on your mind. You are listening to us. You want to say some. Please don't hesitate to put your comment. I will read it. Austin Wood is saying something about our creatives here in Ghana, and I think this is a conversation I've actually been interested in. So Austin Wood, according to the Ghanaian broadcaster based in the UK, he has criticized that Ghanaian creative industry he has criticized the industry for focusing on very trivial issues instead of uniting to achieve greater global success. Speaking on Joy FM's Showbiz A to Z platform, Austin questioned why Nigerian artist Burna Boy, who was once featured on Shatta Wale's song Hosanna, has since surpassed Ghanaian acts on the international stage. He pointed to Burna Boy's performance at the UEFA Champions League final as an example of how Ghana is lagging behind its Nigerian counterparts in international exposure. Austin also lamented how some Ghanaian music fans and industry players celebrate small achievements, such as artists filling modest venues abroad, rather than aiming for global scale success. He urged Ghanaian musicians to unite for a major event outside the country that truly represents Ghana on the global stage.
How did Burna Boy, everybody would love to have? this is what we've been what we've been pushing for and all that. Yes. So at the end of the day, it's a good thing. It's a conversation, and looking at how.
Wait.
Okay.
Let's break the conversation into two. So there was one. The first part of the conversation says that, oh, how come a brand like Benna has surpassed a brand like Shatta when he even put him on a song like Hosanna. And then the second part says that the fans and the industry players must not, like, we are too excited when the artists go out there and they do venues that are modest, so they should come together and do a bigger venue or bigger show that represents the nation very well. So let's have the conversation separately. The first part as to why a brand like Benna is surpassing our people on the international market. Let's have that, and then now you can add the other parts where he thinks that we need to represent the nation well when it comes to events out there.
Okay, so first and foremost, I think, to my best of knowledge, record label involvement, consistency.
Okay. So before that, Austin Wood, it was a full interview. So I want us to hear exactly what he said, so that we are able to quote him well and put the conversation well.
How did Burna Boy, who was featured on Hosanna by Shatta Wale, just had that quantum jump over us? I think we were there in petty competition amongst ourselves when the competition is against the world out there. Because I asked myself, when they did Hosanna back in 2014, 2015, Shatta Wale was 3 times bigger than Burna Boy. Shatta Wale has been doing well since that time. He's gone up, he's been featured by Beyonce. But Kwame, now, Burna Boy across the world is like 10 times bigger than Shatta Wale. When the final of the UEFA Champions League was being played, UEFA Champions League, 2 European clubs playing the final of their topmost club football, then they say that Burna Boy should perform at that event. What are we doing? So sometimes I ask myself, we talk about, we have gone to the UK, Stoneboy had 1,200, somebody had 1,500. Oh, I had bigger than you. I think that market we can harness out there. But what we keep doing is always competitiveness, which is negative. If competitiveness is positive, right, it helps the industry to grow. But for ours, right, somebody will take pictures of 1 hour into the show and post it earlier that, oh, you see, he did not get people. Why do we do that to ourselves? I envisage a point in time where Sarkodie, Black Sherif, Stoneboy, Shatta Wale, Kwame Eugene, Samini, Dinah Hamilton, we would say that we are having a Ghanaian concert on Ghanaian Independence Day or Nkrumah Memorial Day, because he is the greatest African icon of all time. So if we choose his birthday, that we are taking our music to places like the UK where there's a huge African population, we do proper groundwork and hit a 10,000 capacity auditorium, it will be a stepping stone for us. But we are not talking about that. We are talking about individual things. I have done 1,002. I have done 1,005. I am better than him. My songs are doing better than him. I have a problem with that.
Hitz FM 103.9.
Well, we heard it from the horse's own mouth. Not to say he's a horse, I beg you. Yes, not to say that. So, Zio, now you have the full scope of what he's saying and how he even said it. So, let's get on to it.
Yes. First and foremost, good submission. Big shout outs to him. I'd love to say, 1, record label involvement in Burna Boy's career. Yes, looking at Atlantic Records, Werner Music Group, looking at Bad Habits. Those are labels or musical institutions that will push your brand no matter what. A typical example is Black Sherif and all other artists who have gotten involved with these record labels. Consistency as well. How many shows do we see Burna play outside and even in Nigeria as well? Look at the number of songs he's released, how many projects, how many albums, representing a country or a culture as well. So we would get there. As a matter of, we would get there with time. But if we are comparing these two artists and tracking back to say Burna on Hosanna, Burna Shatta was twice popular, or the weight of Burna and all that, but things have changed. He signed to a record label, he's gotten his promotion right, his branding right, he's released songs, he's even gone ahead to get a Grammy for himself. He's done all the necessary things and all that. So I think with time, some of our artists or most of our artists will be able to get there, especially when we start to think or start to get good contracts with record labels like what Burna have. They would be able to attain all of those heights. But for me, I don't think it's a conversation that we need to be dragging a particular artist for. I don't think it's a conversation that we need to start saying, and start blaming Shatta Wale or anything. It's time and seasons. He has gotten his chance. He's gotten all of these. He stayed consistent as well, and he's been able to get there. When we are building, especially with what we are the conversations we are having, the types of shows we are playing, and all that. If all our artists are being signed to good record labels, we would be able to get there, because no individual. You can't tell me that Burna is doing all of this on his own. No. The involvement or the influence of all of these parties is what have gotten him to where he is.
Okay. How about the second part of...
I thought we were doing one, then we'll come and do the other one. Yeah.
Mr. Robbins,
Yo,
talk to me.
what do you want me to talk to you about?
Talk to me about the first part that Austin Wood released.
So that's what Burna Boy.
Yeah, the Burna Boy, and how he has surpassed Shatta Wale on the international.
In which year was the release?
I think
The feature.
2015.
2015. Burna Boy formed his company Space Shift. Is it Space Shifts or yeah? Let me just. Yeah. I think it's Space
something.
Space Shifts. Yeah. In 2015, responsible for his releases. All right. And there's a particular documentary that has Burna Boy's mother being interviewed, I think, by CNN. Yeah. If you watch that particular interview, you'd clearly see how the mother narrates. They had to, first of all, desire the US market. And after desiring that market, they went to the space to focus on how to penetrate the market. Yeah. And so they started doing music and projecting into the space and going from place to place performing. Sometimes we'll have 500 people, sometimes we'll have 2,000 people, but they never gave up. Yeah. And they did that over and over and over again, I think for over a year, just trying to court and nurture the market, the following, so that when Burna Boy says, yes, I'm coming to do X, I'm coming to do Y, you have specific people who are following. And that's what he did. So he did, from the perspective of marketing, we call that marketing development, or market development, sorry. So he developed a market, and now the market has grown. Yeah. And the market is serving its purpose. I think that we need to be able to place things in their right perspectives. If we get up and start going after the markets, we will be able to develop them. Now, is somebody doing this in this particular country? Take King Promise and look at Asia. You would notice the follow-up, and we need to be able to understand how some of these things work. You look at your analytics, there's clear indication that you have some audience in a particular region. Yeah. You get into that particular space, you contact people, promoters, you promote your brand, and then you find a way to step into that particular place, organize shows back to back, that kind of stuff. You begin to feed them, eventually develop the markets there. And King Promise is doing that. I listened to Mr. Easy when he was going to have his first concert in the UK. He said he observed his analytics and noticed he had about 300,000 followers in the UK, so to say. And he checked this, the venue he was going to fill, and it was about 2,700, almost 3,000. And he said, so all he has to do is to convert 10% of his following to come and watch his show, and then he'll be successful. And so he took money, went in there, did that, and he was able to pay back real quickly. What does it mean? You follow your music where it's going to, you work around the people and develop the audience. Once you develop the audience or the following, you have the market. And then you'll be able to create that effect. So these are principles that exist in the space of marketing. Yeah. So when we ask the question, why isn't this person getting this big in other portions of the world? Maybe we haven't gone there to follow through to develop the market for that particular brand. Yeah. And that's what we need to do. Until we do these things, it's not going to just happen. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, that's one of the key things. We need to understand that if we are going to be interested in international marketing results, then we have to do the work international marketing wise, so that we are able to develop our own markets and the market to begin to respond to your sound. And that's what it is, really.
Okay, so you gave one example, which was Kim Promise. I think over the time, you gave one example, which was the Kim Promise one. But over the time, I've seen our artists, most of them, as soon as they have a project out, you see they announce these tours out there. I think Stonebwoy does that. Some other artists do that. You see, they even Kofi Kinata does that. You see his artwork. The same for the gospel artists too. You see their artwork. Oh, we are going here, we are going there. So they announce and prepare. Is that not the step we are even talking about?
Yeah, so it's a step, but you have to do more, because for every activity you do, you have to look out for the results. And like I said, you have to watch that particular interview from Burna Boy for you to understand. They would do whatever they are doing. Sometimes they'll go to a place, they'll get like 500 people. You go to another place and it's 5,000.
Yeah.
Another place 200, but they didn't stop. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's about you wanting it. Yes, you are developing a market. So imagine that Shatta Wale has been able to build this over the years, right? Because he's in this particular space. If he's following through and going to penetrate a particular market that is not his turf, he must keep going. The songs will travel, the songs will get there. But what's going to follow up is that you must interface with the people, do more shows, and it continues and stuff like that. So I think that we need to call a spade from the perspective of how it is done. The way forward is that you have to develop your market. When you develop your market will respond to your product. The product here are your songs and you.
Zil, do you think as an industry we celebrate small achievements?
Every achievement is supposed to be celebrated, especially in this context. When say an artist moves to a different market and gets lower crowd, there's no reason for you or anybody to sit here and say the person has not done well. Because as much as the crowd is small, I will call it an introduction of the artist's projects, the products the artist has out there, and also the country as a whole, to just that period of people, that group of people. And if the artist is able to convince those particular people, they will go out, carry that information that, oh yes, a Ghanaian artist came by so and so, and we enjoyed his presence. Imagine if he goes back again to say, I'm going to do another show. These same, let's say, 10, 50, 100 people that came become the voice for that particular artist, because per their experience, they can convince. If I go and experience, let's say, Kofi Kinata project concert, and I love it, and I come to Robert, that means I've won another person to even come in there. But if we sit in our comfort zone and say, okay, so I'm waiting till I can get close to 10,000 people before I go into a market which is new, we are not doing ourselves good. We need to test the waters. And as I watched that interview, that is basically what Burna's mother was saying. You do it, you keep consistency, you go over again. And the little achievements that you get, put it out there. It doesn't do anything. We know that when we come home, you might have a particular crowd in a particular demography, but you're trying to invade in another demographic. That's what the Nigerians are doing.
You're trying to, let's more like penetrate into a market that you're not in.
That is what the Nigerians have been doing, and now it's successful. And now they are all over.
And when you are able to do it and you do it well, you begin to get noticed.
Yeah.
There's a reason why PDD expressed interest in working with Burna Boy. And then eventually he got Grammy nomination and Grammy awards and stuff like that. And all of these accolades, at the end of the day, it expands, your reach and gives you mileage and all of that, and it keeps, on and on and on. And then you have another show, and then everybody's talking about it, and eventually there's another, and it keeps building. But you must be interested in these markets, and you must pay your dues. Literally, you have to consistently work it, and then work with the people in the space who matter, the plugs. You understand, the promoters.
So that was where I was actually coming with my next question. Aside the artists actually going out there to go and do the events themselves, we also have people out there who do annual events and then put our artists on. Shouldn't some of the conversation also go to them that, dare to put us in a bigger space and see if we can do it? Or is it that over the period we haven't really artists haven't
them.
No, but you see,
proved that
the conversation is not. You don't just put somebody in a bigger space. So you understand. So, for example, so it's a paid event, first of all, and if Sarkodie wants to do, when Sarkodie is doing this system, we see the numbers. When Sarkodie is doing Rapaholic, we also see the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just get up and say, okay, so it's Sarkodie, so I'm going to give him a venue of 20,000 people. Like, you need to have some basis. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to rent a place and you're going to see an empty hall. So what are the numbers like when it comes to Sarkodie within the space that you want to go to? How many people are listening to his music from this particular jurisdiction? Who is playing his music? How popular is he? What can you do to be able to ensure that the numbers are experienced during that particular project? If you don't have that, then you don't, because everything is investment and it has to make what sense in terms of every amount of money spent and the number of people who are coming to the place. So, what is your analytics saying? When you go to the back end, what are you able to uncover? If you are confident that you can get the numbers, then you work with what the numbers would give you. If you are not confident, then I beg you stick to it. And then what happens is that you now start developing your market so you can get more people to follow. Or you look for people that you can partner with. You understand? So artist A, artist B, put them together. This one is drawing 1,005. This one is drawing 1,005. And then at the end of the day, 3,000. Bam. Add a third artist who's also able to bring another 1,005. Like, you find the permutations that would make sense. At the end of the day, I would perform towards
permutations.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear it, it's in sports, right? Yeah. Oh, I see. So then it means that collaboration, basically.
Yes,
like
I was
the person doing the events, noticing who has the ability to pull what's here, and then putting one or two artists who have.
Okay, so let me make it broader. It's goal setting and goal getting. You set your goal and then you plan how to get your goal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So your goal is, I want to hit 5,000 people. Then you evaluate, how many people can I pull myself? 500. But I want to get 5,000.
Where are you going to get it from?
Exactly, because there's a deficit of 4,500. Oh, if I bring in this person, it will work. So the word, I want to go beyond collaboration and say, looking for experts who can help you achieve your goal. Right. So if you are in Ghana and you don't have a team in UK who can help you accomplish that, you look for who can help you deliver when you are in UK. Yeah. If you're in like it's like that. In America, you're going to a particular state, you look for the people who can deliver the job. So essentially, you bring them together like, team, this is what I want to do. My existing base is 2,000. However, going to a particular venue that's 3,000. They'll ask you why. And then you begin to work around it and then see what it means.
I think one of the things we should also consider is musically collaborating with people. Having features with people that let's say next 2 years, I'm an artist, I want to play a show in the UK. I think from now, the team is supposed to have that conversation. Who are the big artists over there? Who can I get on a song? Good. So that will draw their market as well.
Good. So that is part of your market development.
So goal setting and all
good. You set the goal.
Exactly.
I'll be familiar. They'll be familiar with my
sound
ahead
of time.
When I have a song with this person and it's being played there, let's say Stormzy. Let's say Stormzy and Yautalk with that Sorry remix and all that. Stormzy went to the UK. Yautalk went to the UK and he was being recognized because he featured one of the big artists in there. Do you get it? So it's not just you wake up 3 months, you want to go and do something. You need to plan for a very long time. Make sure all of these things are done. And trust you me, if Ghanaian artists come together and say we're going to fill the O2 20,000 capacity O2 arena, I think we can do it.
Well,
yeah, but for me, it's always about the scientific approach. So if it is you want to do that, the question is, when do you want to do it?
Yes.
Where is your current state, like in terms of your following now? And then is there a gap? If there is no gap, then you know you are home free. If there is a gap, then you work on the gap. How long should it take us? 1 year, 2 years? What do we do within this 1 year, 2 year period? How many collaborations should we have? And where should we go to and stuff like that? What is transportation? Are people in Europe? Can they come from Europe to UK to come and participate in the program? What are we doing with respect to accommodation? Like work around the ecosystem, understand the system, and then people should be able to come and participate. At the end of the day, you would know if you'd be able to, fill the place or not. I mean, that conversation needs to be.
Well, that's very, very true. I agree with you.
So the company name is actually Spaceship.
Oh, okay.
Not Shift. Spaceship.
Okay. Well, one person that has set a goal for himself and has put it out there, and I'm sure he will put in the work to get, is Kenai Soba. Kenai Soba has put it in the universe and in our minds.
Got it.
One and in the mind of the foreign minister that he deserves a diplomatic passport. Let's take a quick break. We'll come and dissect if Kenai Soba has earned himself the right to say he needs one, or in fact he deserves one. We'll have that conversation. We'll be right back. Interesting. I deserve a diplomatic passport too. Kenai Soba is speaking. With 5 Ghanaian creative honored with diplomatic passports for their contributions to the promotion of Ghana abroad, veteran traditional musician Ken Ayisoba believes he also deserves the same recognition. In an interview with broadcaster Kafuide, the I Want to See You, My Father hitmaker mentioned that his long-standing commitment to promoting Ghana's traditional music should also earn him a place among those recognized. The traditional musician, however, noted that he holds no grudges against those who received the diplomatic passports, acknowledging that they have all made Ghana proud in their respective fields. He singled out Grammy-nominated reggae artist Rocky Dawuni for praise, describing him as someone who has worked hard to elevate Ghana's name globally. For me, I can't say those who have received it don't deserve it. Someone like Rocky Dawuni has really worked hard. It's not easy to earn a Grammy nomination. I just hope they also consider me because truthfully, when it comes to Ghanaian music traditions, I am one of those who have carried it, Ken Ayisoba said. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, presented diplomatic passport to 5 Ghanaian creatives: travel blogger Woody Maya, Rocky Dawuni, broadcaster Anita Eskin, visual artist Ibrahim Mahama, and entrepreneur Denta Amwating. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have an opinion.
You said
Please,
ladies and gentlemen.
yes, those listening.
Okay.
I know you have an opinion. You can send me a WhatsApp message on 054-8841-039. Let me hit the number again. 054-8841-039. So send me your WhatsApp message. We've talked about the Shatterfest. We've talked about Austin Wood talking about we filling bigger venues out there so that we can properly represent Ghana on the international market. And now Ken Ayisoba saying that, yes, I do not hold any grudge against anybody that has been called from the creative side to hold a passport. But me too, I deserve it. Because when we talk about people who are pushing and showing the flag of Ghana out there, Ken Ayisoba deserves his credit and a passport to prove the work he has done. Zio says I should call Robert Clark. Robert.
Yo. What's good?
I want my boss to go first.
I will not mind you. Robert, talk to me. Ken Ayisoba says that he doesn't have any grudge against anyone who has been given the passport, but he too, he deserves it.
So I mean, there's nothing wrong with expressing yourself if you feel you deserve something. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong. I think in all the stories about how people got their diplomatic passports, I never heard, and I stand to be corrected if anybody has that information you can share, I never really got the criteria that was used. Yeah. It's just that you look at it and then you put 2 and 3 together and you say, okay, because of the role they play, because of what they do, because of their engagement, that kind of stuff, and the number of travels they are supposed to do, and maybe they could stand somewhere to represent the country. I'm not too sure, so you put things together and then you make your own deduction. But in terms of an existing criteria that was shared, I don't think that kind of information is out there. So obviously, in the absence of that, anybody who feels they also do a lot of things and represent Ghana internationally, and they also ought to be supported in terms of their free travels and all of that, would clearly say that they also think that they deserve to have a diplomatic passport, and you can't fault them. So
for you, it's not a problem that he's there
is nothing wrong with asking. And you see, if you don't ask for yourself, who would ask for you?
The Bible crosses.
Exactly. So for me, when people feel that, because you see, the thing sometimes when you're too quiet about what you think you deserve, it will never really come your way. And it's not everybody who has John the Baptist coming to announce it. It's not everybody who have a John the Baptist coming to introduce them. Charlie, sometimes you have to speak for yourself. And so, yes, maybe he fits the criteria. Who knows? You might never really know. So it's good he's calling it out. But it's not really my call. We all know at the end of the day, it's a call of the ministry. So...
the way you are laughing, why are you happy about this particular topic?
No, you
What
see,
is going on?
I think I stand to be corrected here. I think this government or this year has been the year that they've gone public with the people they've given diplomatic passports to. I can't recall any government or any time in the past where they announced and gave diplomatic passports. I stand to be corrected. If anybody has information, the person can share. And I think this is what, and it's the reason why all of these conversations are coming up. Because some people say, oh, I need one. And as Robert said, there's no definition of who is able or who has earned a diplomatic passport yet. So I think going public, but Aisoba has done good for the music scene. Maybe in his time, when he was at his peak, when he was playing the big festivals, making the waves, maybe the government in power then didn't see it and didn't do it and all that. But this is what the ministry and the government have decided, that these group of people are the people they want to give diplomatic passports now. So maybe at the time where he was on his peak and all that, if that government back then dealt it prudent, they might have given it to him. Since we don't have the ABCD of reasons why they gave diplomatic passports to these people and they've been given diplomatic passports, I don't think we can speak to it.
You said when he was at his peak, if the government then, but he's still active. Kenai Soba is not that artist but he has his audience, he deals with them, he does that, which is why he was saying that paired the traditional music and exporting it out there. He does that constantly. So is this not a good time enough too?
When I say artists peak, we all know when artists are at their peak.
So
when was the last time we heard a song from Aisoba?
But I'm not his target audience. His target audience, he's catering for them.
When he did I Want to See My Father, were you his target audience?
No, I wasn't.
But did you hear the song?
But you see, he hasn't stopped doing music even after that.
Did you hear the song?
See, the reason why he can comfortably say that they introduce a peak component into the equation.
Wait, so you don't get hit? Is that all you're trying to say? Because if it's about his work, yeah. This man has been acting for so many. I'm saying we are tying the height of his career to just one hit.
Yeah, so Anekam. So what I'm trying to say is that the reason why he can introduce his peak moment into the equation that we are discussing right now is because the criteria doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Yes. You understand? Maybe so he's assuming that then you have to be at your peak to be able to earn this, and so he's also introducing his own parameter. Yeah. So if, for example, that had been shared, you can clearly look at it and you go like, okay,
the criteria, they would know, like would have probably said, oh no, say as for this one.
Straight up. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? Right, yeah. I see. Yeah.
I know. I understand. You know, he said. So you see, so now, right now, yeah, that's all. No, yeah.
No. You see, not to put it in a bad way, but looking at the people they gave the diplomatic passports and all that, and Kenai even said it that all of them deserve it. Mm-hmm. All of the people they got deserve it and all that. I see. Honestly, me, I don't know who deserves and who doesn't deserve. Me, I'm not in the minister's head. ABR, maybe tomorrow or within the week, they will bring a list. Oh, these are the reasons why we gave these people. Then we can spark that conversation, because I've heard plenty people wanting diplomatic passports now.
Even I deserve one.
I can sit here and say, me too, I want one.
Who knows? So that for me, it's a criteria really, and it could be that they went through. So I've gone back to the folks who have been given the stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing a representation from the content creation with global impact. That's Wodemaya. Yeah. Then I'm seeing a musician, Rocky Dawuni, who is in that particular space, and then I'm seeing what's the name of Denta, who is a business, who is more connected in the business angle and media, but she does a lot of things in terms of, in and out, that kind diaspora engagement. Lovely. And then there is somebody in visual arts. No, not visual arts, paintings and stuff like that. That's Ibrahim.
And I hear he also has a huge thing he does out there when it comes to the work he does.
Good. So that is also in the arts.
And Anita Eskin to the summit conference.
Good. So she's all around the place as well. So again, I'm seeing that they represent different sectors, so to say. But again, I'm not too sure what the other elements are. So I'm looking at the work done, and I am reverse engineering to uncover the criteria that was used. But at the end of the day, really, it's just going to be an assumption. So.
Well, please, I know you have your comments. Drop it. My WhatsApp number is open 054-8841-039. I will read it, and then I've seen a lot of you on Facebook giving me fans. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But I know you are too, like, your energy makes some way be like that.
Yeah.
How?
Is it because of the seats?
No, she's now thinking like
No,
before she go ask question.
You men of little faith.
While we're having the conversation, she's thinking of the next two things to do.
You see that thing? Right now, I have to multitask. First,
like
first.
Then somebody go talk that.
So you see,
I wish Adam was here.
when I was a child,
Adam is having breakfast.
when I was a child,
Please don't quote scripture.
Hey, I beg.
I thought as a child.
Yes, right now I'm a host. I have to. I knew you give me hard time, but
No, but we haven't given you hard
because
time.
all this love will show you, answering questions for you,
Yeah.
breaking down things.
Yes, I have to be calm because I am sitting in that cognac. I beg
Do
you.
you know what? When we are talking, she's on phone. She's reading.
I'm still reading. It's not easy, you guys. It's not easy. Okay, so I think we have some few minutes left. So we are going to touch briefly on President Mahama's post that he made. He was talking about the fact that we've been given some grants by the Chinese government, and it's going to be used for the Aflao market and also for the National Theatre. But I think our interests will largely be on the National Theatre issue. So President Mahama secures 200 million renminbi Chinese grants for Aflao market and the National Theatre. President John Dramani Mahama has announced that China has approved an additional 200 renminbi to support Ghana's development projects. So first off, I think the conversation of the National Theatre has been one that we have been on for a while now. So when I saw this post, I was quite excited about it. I was like, okay, yeah, at least we will see the change that we need over there. Zio, what does it mean? What does it mean?
I think actually
for
rightly
us?
said. And people like George Quay, people who have actually hosted theatre events or hosted events at the National Theatre would come to complain that there are some things that are not right at the National Theatre and all that. So this is good news for the creatives. This is good news for people who actually use the National Theatre. Some of us, we go there to watch theatre performances, comedy shows here and there. So if they are looking at revamping the space, I think it's a step in the right direction. For me, I don't have much to say. I'm just waiting for everything to be done. Then we know that, okay, so yes, this and this was what has been done. My major concern will be the washrooms when you go to the National Theatre and all that. It's one of the things that will turn you off at any time and all that. So
I've worked there before. You didn't turn me off like that though.
You were working. Me, I was there. I went to enjoy something.
You were a patron, eh?
Yeah, I was just a patron, so
Okay.
maybe the conditions were not conducive enough for me. But at the end of the day, this is good news. These are some of the things we expect governments to be looking at, and since he's looking at that, I'm looking forward to the aftermath. At the end of the day, how will the place look like? How will the place be like? Because when it comes to people using the National Theatre, people are definitely using it. There's a Wednesday theatre thing that goes on most of the times. Even when you go to the GTA calendar, there are some theater performances or events scheduled there and all that. Uncle Ebo White is one of the people who widely use the National Theatre. So at the end of the day, ebefa na bibia ko yie na we can all go in there, watch the show, be at ease, and come out feeling happy. Then I'm good.
Robert.
Yep.
The National Theatre. It looks like there's light at the end of the tunnel for us.
Yeah, so I want to start from the political angle first.
Okay.
What the Chinese are doing with us can be classified under something called soft diplomacy, where they are able to augment their appeal to a particular people and influence, not necessarily through the hardcore military push or anything, but the fact that we are hearing about National Theatre, and anytime we talk about it, we make reference to them. It means that there's a certain amount of appeal that the people of Ghana, they would have on us in terms of influence and stuff like that. So I want to, so those are some of the things that we need to also be able to understand. These are politics, and these are things that happen in that particular space. You understand? So in the future, if you see us doing many more things, it's because they've also been, there showing us love in areas that we needed. Now to the platform itself in terms of the National Theatre. Obviously, without a doubt, we know revenue generation is one of the benefits that a particular place gives us. We also know that there's, job creation, no two ways about it, in terms of the fact that anybody who is there, in terms of all the things we do, shows are held in that particular place, if nothing at all, jobs are created, because events are massive production houses or factories where people, at the end of the day, in the value chain, clearly that money comes through. And then we also have some, the fact that we get opportunity to showcase talent. And then we get to nurture. So showcasing, yes, that's where we also get to nurture, because I think in UK is one of the UK exports, in terms of their biggest exports, the creative arts is number 5. So we need to get to that point where we are nurturing and also being able to export what we are doing in that particular space. And so, yes, if we have the places of the National Theatre, and last time we were here, when Tiny came, we were reminiscing the days of Fan World and the Kidda Fest and all of these things. These platforms literally helped develop the generation that we are seeing right now. And so if we're thinking about feeding the next generation and exporting talents, and saying that, okay, clearly trying to identify the revenue streams and how it contributes to GDP, these are the things we're supposed to be looking at. So yes, National Theatre is certainly important. And it's long overdue. I'm happy that this has been made publicly known. I'm just hoping that there's a good plan set in place for it to be executed and completed within record time. Recently saw what Nigeria did. They have renovated their National Theatre. It's looking so cool and so good. I think some banks came together, put some money together, and then they were able to achieve that for the people. And it's the renovation is awesome. It looks good. It looks grandeur. It looks plush, and we ought to be able to do same. Because when we say National Theatre, sometimes when you look at the outside, you're happy, but when you get in, you understand. Because so yeah, it's a right call, and we thank President Mahama for responding to the needs of the creatives.
Yeah, we thank him for letting us also know, so that we can also keep an eye on
sharp,
it, because that is very important.
Yeah,
very,
after a few weeks we ask, so the president,
how
far?
Please, how is it going?
Has the money come in yet?
Yeah.
When is work starting? When are they likely to finish? And during the process of renovation, what happens? Key thing.
Are they going to put the place to a hold?
Yes. How long is it going to be? Is it 1 year, 2 years? And during this particular period, what's going to happen? Are they going to do it side by side? I don't know. But that's another conversation, because you see, the number of activities that happen at the National Theatre, if they are not happening there, where?
And I think it has to be something that they do in tandem with the leaders of the National Theatre, so that they know exactly how they can move everything. If they have to do it even at night, where people are asleep, for how long, if there's going to be a break, it has to be something that is not taking somebody's food from them because the national it's a busy place, so it gets overbooked.
Unless it is just practically impossible to do it
Yeah.
in bits and pieces,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
really,
I made mention of the events happening over there, Charlie.
So you have 30 seconds. 30 seconds, pay.
I'm
Because
done.
I have messages to read.
it's done.
Go to the message.
Well, Kwabena Joseph. Kwabena Joseph says, for me, you have to know the rules in the school before you choose. I think he's talking about the hair thing. Emmanuel Nati says, shatter self bigger than chatter. Hey, fans are here. He's back again and he's saying that shatter bringing Grammy to Ghana soon. Efo and fans, wow, look at this, are crying when they saw the crowd. They wish they can, but never. Hey, fans, the rough workers. Yeah. Prince Tuga says Shatawale is the news and he will make you talking. Fans, I beg.
I think it's a
your,
song for
your
SS.
English, I don't like the host Tilly is brilliant and fluent, so she shouldn't allow any. Nobody is doing me anything. I'm fine. I'm very, very fine. Ebony Twilight says Ghana as a country has only one superstar, and that's Shatawale. The guy is the only celebrity in Ghana. He's the only musician who puts out a performance and it trends worldwide. The rest are just popular. And here is you back to back like that. Kofi Gato Kofi is saying that, oh nice, Tileke Nipa, it's amazing seeing you as the host. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Storm City, my guy, he said that's nice one, Tileke Nipa. I like where you are. It's not easy, when I'm sitting there, it's not easy. I like it too, but they say I make door because usually I bring the heat, I bring the fire. Today I'm the water. I have to quench everybody. Aqua Noah says, Tilly, you they feel cold. Hey, boys are seeing things happening. Jay Luma says, Tilly, you are great. You are a great show hostess. I'm proud of it. Today, they're the big ups. It's for me. Bossu, good afternoon. The artists, Shatter, Stone Boy, Sack are all ready to come together to play these big shows together to sell Ghana. But who is actually ready to sponsor them? It's not just about Toko. Is he, the Austin guy, willing to support these heavyweight shows? Who in Ghana is willing to sponsor? That is the question.
Yeah, I think it was one of the areas that was great because sometimes we talk about the things and say, oh, there should be. So the first thing that comes to mind is a business organization willing to be able to jump on this particular project, or from GTA or any of the government officials, responsible for this particular sector, to be able to say, okay, let's do this as cultural imposition. We are going to invade. They are going to use the entire cultural attaché in the countries. They are going to call on. So, for example, if you have the embassy, the Ghanaian embassy in UK, do they know the number of people who live in UK? What they can do with them in terms of getting the number. Like that. That's the whole planning that can be done.
I beg, time is out. It's going to be a date. We don't care. We don't care. I'm ending my show. Talk fast. Talk very fast.
No, I'm just saying that they should relax. Because I've heard some people have this conversation, and it's not like when we say it 2 months later it's going to happen. That is not the procedure.
Okay.
There are some back end information you need to get before you can even come out to talk about it.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Edmond Otu your boy say, I like Shatawale's unity post he wrote yesterday. Maturity at its peak. Kudos, regards to the. So I think before we wrap up, we have to wish a big happy birthday to Ashes. Today is his birthday. Chilling tea. Ashes did not count today. Happy birthday, Ashes. We love you deep, and the industry is very, very excited to have someone like you showing us the way. Thank you, Robert Sklar. Thank you, Zil. Thank you, myself, Timmy. And thank you to those of you listening. Debbie Sway, Knee Upness, for making all of this happen. Here they are not sitting again. I'm telling you.
you have to learn to do this thing the Snoop Doggy Dogg way.
Hey, on that.
No, hold on. It was like, yo. And I want to thank myself.
And I want to thank myself
for waking up early in the morning.
For waking up early, showing up, and being on time.
You know what I mean? He thanked everybody and he thanked himself.
If it hadn't been for me, I wouldn't have been here.
Thank you. What I mean? Me did the thing.